The purpose of this video is to discuss the foreclosure mediation timeline so I can answer the question, when do I become eligible for foreclosure mediation and when do I get to go? If you're a subscriber to my page, welcome back. If not, make sure you subscribe and like the videos. Let me know your experiences. Tell me something. I always love hearing from you guys and I try to respond as quickly as possible. So it's a helpful way to get information out into the world and help other homeowners. So this video is about foreclosure mediation. As I've said in other videos, I am a Washington state attorney. This is a Washington state law. If you're in a different state, you should do some research to see if there are any protections like foreclosure mediation in your state. There are some states out there that have a process like this, so you'll want to do that research. But this video is about, if you're in Washington, how do you know when you get to go to foreclosure mediation? So the short answer is when you get your notice of default. So if you want me to walk you through the entire foreclosure timeline in Washington, there's a video on my page that does that. Maybe you should pause this video, watch that video, and come back. But for purposes of this video, I'll just quickly go through it. You're going to at some point miss a mortgage payment or go through kind of like your initial default. The bank will start sending you a bunch of letters from them directly called acceleration notices. At some point, you're going to get a document that's called a notice of pre-foreclosure options, otherwise abbreviated or known as a NOPO. You don't get to go to mediation at this point. These are all kind of what we classify as like the early notices of a non-judicial foreclosure. So if this is happening to you, you're in a non-judicial foreclosure, you have, some time to try to work options out with the bank, but you don't get to go to foreclosure mediation until you get a document called the notice of default. I always tell my clients a notice of default will be taped to your door, so it will become very obvious when you get that. Also, most homeowners just get bombarded with 5 to 6 copies of this notice of default. It will say notice of default on the paper, and there will be a trustee involved. So somewhere on those documents, there will be the name of one of the bigger trustees in Washington. Some of their names are Quality Loan Service, Trustee Corps, Clear Recon Corps. There's others, Aztec Foreclosure. So there'll be like an attorney in some way or a trustee in some way involved, and the document will say notice of default. When you get this, you are eligible to go to mediation. So this would be the time when you'd want to call a housing counselor or call an attorney or reach out to someone for help to see what your options are to do mediation. Once you get this notice of default, if you do nothing, about 30 days or so from this notice of default, you will get what's called the final foreclosure notice in Washington. That is called the notice of trustee's sale. That final notice will set a foreclosure auction date on your property that is 4 months from the time you get that notice. So it goes kind of pre-notices, notice of default, ding, ding, ding. That's when you get to go to mediation. If you don't do anything, then you're going to get this notice of trustee's sale about 30 days later, and then you'll have 4 months before you lose the home. So your mediation eligibility starts when you get this notice of default. You can file for mediation the entire time you have your notice of default. If you don't file mediation and you get this notice of trustee's sale, you can still file for mediation, but you can only file for 20 days following the recording date of this final notice. And the recording date is different from the date that you see the notice. So you're going to want to make 100% sure that you know what the recording date of that second notice is. The best time to file for mediation is right when you get your notice of default, because the moment you file for mediation, it stops the foreclosure activity. So you can essentially prevent yourself from getting that final notice by going through the mediation process. And if you're able to come to a resolution within the mediation process, which many homeowners are, you avoid this final notice altogether. So in my personal opinion, and the advice I give my clients is there really is no benefit to waiting to file until you get that final notice. If you know you need help, if you know things aren't going well with your lender and you know you're behind, file the moment you get your notice of default so that you potentially can resolve the issue before this final notice comes. The lender cannot file their final foreclosure notice if you have an open mediation going. So there is no reason to wait. If for whatever reason you have to wait or you didn't know to do this and you've gotten that final notice, find the recording date. Sometimes it's stamped on the top of the first page, or sometimes it's stamped on the kind of notary area on the last page, but find your recording date and then count in front of that 20 days, including weekends. It's not just business days. If you are still within that 20-day window of eligibility, you definitely want to quickly reach out for someone to help to see if you can still go to mediation. Unfortunately, if you pass that window, meaning if you're only a couple months away from an auction date or a few days away from an auction date, mediation in Washington is likely not available to you. So you want to be on top of it, and you want to be watching for that notice, that first notice of default getting taped to your door. If this is applying to you and you're in the middle and you're just unsure whether you can go, call me or call housing counselor, call someone to get them to kind of do the math for you and tell you whether you can go or not. If you have more questions about other eligibility requirements or other things related to mediation, watch those videos and let me know if you have questions. Good luck.